Good morning, everybody. What is a hippie? A hippie is a hate infested human being, white, black, Asian, any race. If you're infested with hate, you are a hate infested human being. And we call that here a hippie at Real Life Live. Okay, so you're a hippie. You're a hate infested human being. Now, I'm not a hate infested human being, so I'm a non hippie. And we have a you know, a part of this, you know, country that's non hate infested. But we have a part of this, you know, America that's really hate infested. It's not coming out of them. So all that, sensitivity training, that's no good. You can't get that out. Hate is really entrenched. When you're hate infested, you've been taught that from generation on down. So we're gonna give you an example, but I wanted to say that because give you a refresher course on hate infestation and what is a hippie. That's a hate infested person. Okay, so and we're gonna do some politics too, because we're gonna give you this example, and all of it is tied together. See, this is what you should have done, and this is what didn't happen. So we're gonna go to that right now. Okay, we're gonna talk about this case. I call them cases where at this basketball game at Illinois State. Okay, it was Illinois State versus uh, Norfolk State. Okay, and in the game, in the game, here comes a fan. He, a hippie. This is what we call a hippie. Okay, this guy, he's at a basketball game. Now if he was on the street, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so he starts hurling all this hate infested hate at this young basketball player, just a kid. Okay, and he's not hate infested, by the way, but the person that's uh, I'm looking at him, he looks hateful, and all that horrible, that garbage coming out of his mouth, because hate stinks. By the way, it stinks like garbage. Okay, so here he is spitting out hate. So what happens? Oh, nothing. Nothing happens. Okay, boom. So then politics. The game stops. Okay, if I'm the coach. Okay, now I'm gonna read about what the coach did. Now the coach he did some things. So he did some things, but he didn't do you know enough to me. So what happened was he uh, he confronted you know the people. Okay, and the fan, he was still doing all everything. Okay, he was calling them the N word. Okay, and all the people around him, instead of saying something, see, this is hippieism, hippieism. Okay, all the other hippies around him, he was a hippie, and they all were hippies because they didn't say anything. And the coach, and we're gonna talk, he decided, instead of kind of calming it down, like a good coach would have done, because they have the ability to do that. You know, the coach, he didn't do that. He went after the coach of Norfolk State, which is Mr. Robert Jones, I think his name is. Yeah, and he went, he went after him. He said, oh, he went on the court instead of calling out his fan, for doing that. And the fan. And here's another thing. This is politics. Boom. That game has to stop right there, y'all. Hey, Coach Jones. Hey, I know that you wanted to protect your players. You did that. But you didn't do. What you should have done was stop the game, because the game means nothing. We have to start to fund the game, okay? Because they're having fun, you're not. They're allowing it to go. That coach, he could have, stopped that right there. And then now you got the Illinois State, the AD, the Russo racial language, blah, 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 blah. It's bullshit. It comes out all the time. We have to stop accepting those apologies. And he did. The coach said, hey, that apology's no good. It's never been any good here. Apology is just a word they invented to justify, or say something, after they do something to you. Oh, I say the word apology. So, not here. Never worked. Never worked. Okay, so then, you hear the same, I own, the coach, Ryan Beatone, or whatever his name, I'm wrong to allow it to escalate. No, you did exactly what you wanted to do. Because you're a hippie just like them, man. Come on, because if you weren't a hippie, you would have stopped it. But you let it roll on. By the way, you still lost the game. So all that. And by the way, that guy, that hippie that did that, he was allowed to say, okay, or whatever. Or they say that they said they threw him out, but he probably put on a wig and came back in. Okay, so they allowed that to happen. Because they're all, hey, you're either a hippie or you're not. See, I call it out here. Okay, so, that's the example of hippieism right there. A bunch of hippies, that wanted to just make it a hell of an experience for those young black players that had, hey, they're giving you the privilege to see them play. Okay? Because you can't do it. That hippie couldn't do it. He can't play. He's all that garbage coming out of his mouth. Hey, how's your wife like that? If you got one. You kind of look like you're kind of weak all the way around. Okay? So I'm going to call you out. So the one thing, I'm going to grade this, what I'm saying, the game had to be stopped at that moment that he did that, because you can't allow them to make all that money. See, they still profit off the game when you let it keep on going. See, so Coach Jones, you were right. You defend your kids. And by the way, you need to know the name of that guy that did that. You see what I'm saying? Well, it was me. Me and him. Okay, dude, because you wouldn't do that to me if we was out on the street. See, I'm thinking like, if I was a player and you did that to me, or I have to look you up, okay? And you run, okay? You'd run because you look like a wimp to me, okay? So when you're in those stands, you was a man then. But if you was out on the street, you wouldn't have said that to that young brother. You know that. You kept on rolling, dude. See, so the weakness is there. Okay. So, I got to call one case. You see what I'm saying? Hippieism, and you're dealing with hippies. Okay. Now I have a cartoon that I had out. I'm gonna probably get it back out. And politics. Politics says stop that can stop the game because it means nothing after that. See, take their fun away and all that money that they're making off you, and then still having fun, belittling you. You have to stop that game. That's politics right there. No more fun, no more game, nothing. And by the way, Coach Piton or whatever, you could have stopped it. But you're a hippie. You're just like them. You know, how you come out. Now I own the mistake. I own the mistake. No, you don't own it. You don't own it. You feel the same way. So I'm glad that Coach Jones was not accepting that apology. Quit accepting those weak ass hippie apologies. Okay? Now, for this case, hey, you did, Miss Coach Jones, you were right in everything you did, but one thing, should have stopped that game. That's politics. Don't allow them to make the money. Politics doesn't allow that. So, that's what we wanted to say this morning, because when we saw this game, because this happened, more than once. They're trying to let that bleed into sports. Hippieism, hate, and being a hippie. You want to bring that into the arena now? No, stop that. You can, because hate stinks. You don't want to play in a stinking arena with a bunch of stinking hate-infested people. Stop it. That's politics. And we'll be back.